Welcome back to all of my doers, movers, and shakers working in communities everywhere. I am Edie, also known as the Community Lady, and I'm happy to dive right in today to look and review this handy dandy Are you or your nonprofit organization grant ready? Or even if you're ready to contract with a grant writer. I referenced this form in one of the Debunking Myths video. Apologies, I actually forget which video, but I referenced this form and I mentioned that I would do a deeper dive just to give you a sense of one, the lessons learned that I've learned and that others have confided in me to share that they have learned in preparing to create a successful grant proposal or to be knowledgeable when working with a grant writer. So let's look at the documents that would be very helpful for you to help facilitate a smooth grant submission process. So the first category, and oh, let me add as well, that we will not get completely through this entire form in one video. I'll likely have to do 2 or 3 videos. So this is part 1. So the first thing that we want to look at is the history and background of the organization. Let me make this a little larger for you so we can stay on task. Great. So what does the history and background tell us? It tells us and it tells potential funders, and it also serves as a tool for you and your board to internally assess where the organization has been, why you started the organization, and then after you have determined all of those factors, you can successfully chart your course going forward. Why you're moving in a certain way, why you're doing program delivery this way, you can build on your lessons learned based on your history and background. You can talk about whether or not your vision has remained the same, if not, how you've adjusted it, what the mission is, how long you've been doing it. Celebrate your achievements here, boast yourself, blow your own horn here, and also acknowledge the challenges that you've gone through, as well as how you have overcome those challenges. And common documents that are used to do this could be any one-page case statements, could be an annual report, or even a past successful grant application. So let me just say one word about the one word or two about the annual report. Even if you are a smaller nonprofit, please still do an annual report annually. It is your acknowledgement to the community, not just your funders who you have to most likely create progress reports for, but it is your summary of all the great work you have done throughout the year. And you want to give that back, that entire summary back to those you serve, to anyone who's interested, potential partners, and then of course funders as well. But the report can be a couple of pages, but follow that best practice because I think it proves beneficial in the long run. That's just been my lesson learned. Okay, let's look at the next category. The next category is programs and services. You want to have a detailed description of all of your programs and services. You want to look at your population served, kind of not a general, we help the community, we here for the community knows we're here. No, you want to look at who exactly are you serving? What other ages? Are there particular ethnicities? All the characteristics that that describe this community that stand out. Are you serving single parent households? Are you serving seniors with diabetes? Are you serving seniors who are aging at home? Are you serving seniors who need assisted living? Are you serving youth ages 3 to 5? So you want to be very, very specific about your population served, and then what you want to do within that population. What are your goals and objectives? Why are you serving this population? When do you plan to serve them? How often? And then how? What does this service look like? How did you arrive to that conclusion that your program or service will meet the need that you described? And then lastly, on the last bullet under programs and services, you want to project your outcomes. Have you met your goals and objectives? What has changed? Also include your past successes or your promise of success, your past challenges, and how they prepared you to succeed in the future. And then any evaluation metrics that you've used. How did you measure success? What have your clients said? What have your partners said? So you want to have all of that information kind of documented somewhere. You can even create a one-pager and just write out the answers under each bullet. And lastly, for today, we will look at staffing. And what does staffing tell us? And tell us as grant writers, and also tell your potential funder, and for your own reference. You want to have job descriptions, whether it's for staff that are paid or volunteer staff, because in either way, it's staff. If a person is meeting a need for your organization and they are working to service the community members that you propose to service, they are a staff. You're just staffing them with paid staff or compensated staff, or their volunteer staff. But either way, you want to make certain that you have job descriptions for what they're doing so that everyone is on the same page. And those job descriptions can be easily integrated into full proposals. You want to have bios or resumes on hand so that the grant writer who is looking at this material, if it is a volunteer position, and let's say that volunteer works for another organization from 9 to 5, doing similar responsibilities, then the grant writer is able to pull out those key skill sets and some objectives that perhaps the 9 to 5 employee uses, and then share how that will benefit the program that you're doing through your organization. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Stay tuned for part 2 in the next video. Until next time. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Today's challenge. I should save it to the end, but no, I'll do it now. Today's challenge is start completing this form. Start looking at the history and background if it's not documented, and create a case statement, a one-page case statement that highlights your vision and mission, number of years of service, and your achievements, and include a couple of pictures. You can also Google case statement templates or an example case statement. Let's start there for today's challenge. Until next time, keep doing, keep moving, and keep shaking things up in your communities. Peace.
Working in community, no place I'd rather be. Working in community, lifting, loving, setting free. Don't know where